Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys.
Just not gonna play the intro.
Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys. As always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
We all saw that, right? It wasn't just me tweaking, or maybe they didn't.
I think we were good at first.
Maybe, were we? Were you seeing an intro?
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing any kind of intro. Oh, okay. So I did turn it off and turn it back on. Oh, look at that. All right. Hey. Yeah. That's good, y'all. That was crazy. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Morning Breeze Edition.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by Mr. Meaty himself, Jordan JC, fresh off of a flute concert.
Oh man, I'm on another level.
Today's episode, we gotta revisit our preseason predictions of this team and talk about and go through the schedule. Y'all know how we do. Yes. Do we have the Bears finishing in a different spot moving forward? And then might as well keep the NFL breakdown going. That's what we do here.
Oh, yeah.
Do the Bears need to make a trade for a defensive lineman, but not that guy opposite Montez Sweat? We'll take a look at some of the Bears' run defense numbers. We'll talk about that as well. Also, the NBA returns tonight, and I'm hype as always. Let's go. That intro really threw me off. I'm not gonna lie. I still hit the beat though. I still hit the beat.
We're good. You're professional at this, man.
That's all that matters. You gotta hit the beat, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Big vibes. That intro threw me off, dog. I was like, for me, it didn't show that the intro was playing. So now I'm panicking. I'm like, are we just sitting here? We just looking like
what are we doing?
Because you could hear me when I was like, did the intro play?
Hey, it's all good.
I don't know. It was what I appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. As always, man, need y'all go ahead and do me a favor and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Push the goddamn button, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Make sure that you're hitting that notification bell as well so you get notified every single time we go live. JC, fresh off of a Andre 3000 flute concert.
Nothing can get me
his
back.
Life has been changed. JC, what happened, dog? I saw some highlights. I mean, it was definitely a flute concert, bro. I'm not mad at flautists. As a musician, I appreciate the flautists out there. You know,
okay.
Anybody that knows, never mind. That was about to be wild.
Hey, all I can say is that I am at peace. I am at one with the world now. Yes, and of course, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. As always, but I am at one and at peace with the world now. After being at, honestly, my first concert, I know that's going to probably blow people's minds. This is my first ever concert for my favorite rapper, artist, Andre 3000. And it was just a journey of sound. It was one of one because he didn't even play any of his album songs for a reason. Yeah. Because everything they do is just in the moment. It's spontaneous. Like they're just playing music, just going with the flow. Like nothing is rehearsed. It's just when you get on the stage, all of him and his band are just picking up different instruments and just making sound. So it's a journey of sound. And, you know, some people it's not for, but it was dope. I ain't gonna lie. It was dope. It was nice.
It was I don't know, man. Listen, as a musician, as somebody who grew up playing music, as somebody who still plays music, I think I would probably vibe with it.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, like I have a tough time pulling up for Andre 3000 anything and there's flutes involved. You know what I mean? That's just me personally.
Man.
That's just me personally. JC Franklin said, waiting for that offensive line R&B album to drop. Yo, we haven't seen this defense fully realized yet. Okay. We'll talk about the defense a little bit, but I'll say this, right? Listen, he's his soul has been revitalized. The Chicago Bears, shout out to JC for the super chat, by the way. The Chicago Bears shout out Chicago Bears Breeze. I don't know why I went there. The Chicago Bears souls have been revitalized after this bye week. Maybe there was some Andre 3000 in the building as well for them. And listen, you've got a team now who I believe has exceeded Bears fans' expectations, especially when you look at that defense. We all said, that defense would be good. But as they kept saying, we're top five, we're top five, we're top five, most Bears fans kind of went, yeah, but you got to kind of show me your top five, dog.
Hello.
Done that and then some to this point. And so I wanted to revisit our preseason predictions of the team. I had the team 10-7. And
okay.
Always fun exercise of going through the rest of the schedule and seeing where we think this Bears team is going to land. And I'll say this. I'm going to give it in two ways. I'm going to give my prediction of me seeing the team, right? When you first see the team, you go, boom, win. You go, boom, loss, right? And then I'm going to be like, all right, but we're not going to win like 9 games in a row. Right? So let's start it off here. Let's do it this way, right? What was your preseason prediction for the Chicago Bears team? Where'd you have them at the start of the season?
Well, I mean, I was right above you. I think I said 11-5, and the reason why is because at the break at our bye week, I thought that we'd be at 5-1. I thought that the only challenging team that we play would be the Houston Texans. I thought that would be the test out of the first 6 games going into the bye week. And of course, it was a challenge, but unfortunately, we also lost to the Colts as well. So that was the one team that I did not expect us to lose to. So 5-1. So I'm on par. 10-7 is a good record, but I think I stuck with 11-5, or rather 11-6.
11-6. Yeah, I had Bears 10-7. I thought that. This as a whole, I had us 4-2 coming out of it. I thought we would struggle early on against some of the teams. I think I actually had us originally losing to either the Rams or maybe it was the Colts. I was like, there's going to be a game in there we shouldn't lose that we'll end up losing. Yeah. And there was, unfortunately, right? But I think I did have the Bears coming out of that first 6, 4-2. And I'm kind of on track with where I'm at. But what I think is very interesting is now, right, seeing the team in action, actually having something tangible to sit there and hold on to. Now I think my prediction moving forward may be a lot more confident because I had the Bears winning more. So I was like, listen, they're going to split in the division. I think there's some sweeps in there. But you also see the rest of this NFC North ain't no joke either.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And so you kind of like, while in my heart, I believe Bears can sweep the Lions. I think they have the Lions number. In my head, I'm going, but also, guys, like Lions a tough team.
Yeah. Golfers is on the heater.
That ain't a team you just walk in and go, yeah, we're going to sweep you. So I think that, again, like I said, it's a different outlook now that we have something tangible to hold on to evidence-wise. By the way, just a quick thought here. Over 100 in a check. I should have got some flute music for you this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start it off here. Let's start off this Sunday's game versus the Commanders. What do you have the Chicago Bears doing in this Sunday's game?
Well, I mean, straightforwardly, just winning. I mean, especially if you're talking about the chance of Jaden maybe not playing, which I think he will be. But, I mean, if we're going up against Marcus Mariota, you can sign, seal, deliver that thing. But at the same time, I think that it's – I'm not going to sit here and say that Washington's somebody that you need to look past or that it's just going to be a walk in the park if Jaden Daniels plays. But I think there's many ways that we can shut down this offense with the special defense that we have and really turn this into a rout, just like we have the past couple of games, in my opinion. I think there's a path for that where the Bears can score 30-plus points again and then give up less than 21.
Yeah.
You know, keep that streak going. And so that's where I want this thing to start. I think this will get off to a good start coming out of the bye week. I have the Bears winning handily, I would say over at least a touchdown and a field goal, at least over 10 points. I think they'll win.
So you got the Bears 5-2.
Yeah,
coming out of the bye.
Absolutely.
Still very confident. And then you head over to Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona defensively, again, listen, there's not a lot of good defenses on this schedule. I said that before the season started, and I just wanted to know where the offense was, right? But there's not a lot of good defenses on this schedule. Most of them are in your division. So that's really what you got left. I think the Bears can beat Arizona. I think that they can shut down Kyler Murray. I got the Bears 6-2 coming out of the bye. And then you got the Patriots, who Drake May is playing better. Give me 7-2. I think the Bears go on, dare I say, and I don't even remember. I'll have to go back in the archives last time we did this. I think the Bears go on a 6-game winning streak.
I'm with you. Yeah. 3-0 coming out of the bye. And I know I saw somebody that mentioned it earlier. I think, and you all talked about must-win games. Is this a must-win game coming out of the bye? I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think that these next 3 games, if we're going to put ourselves in a position to actually be competitive in our division in particular, because of just how good it is record-wise, these next 3 games are pivotal. We have to win these next 3 games, in my opinion, in order to go into the division 7-2, in my opinion, so that we can give ourselves a chance at perhaps splitting the division. We'll see, though. I think these 3 games are important.
Listen, I'll go a step further, right? Because realistically speaking, these next 3 games, yes, they're very important, but also the Packers have the Lions on their schedule in that time. That could be a time for you to gain some traction. They've got the Jaguars. They probably end up throttling the Jaguars. I'm not worried about them.
Everybody has.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably end up throttling the Jaguars. The Lions have the Texans and the Packers on their schedule in that same time frame, which I think is a tough is a tough matchup, right? So, like, as you go talk about the next 3 opportunities to gain ground, and then the Vikings, they have over those next 3. Let me pull up the Vikings schedule here. Apparently my internet decided right at this moment, hey, it's over. Am I still coming through?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. All right. My Google said we're done out here. I'm trying to pull up the Viking schedule. My point in all of this is to say that over the next few games, there's opportunity to gain ground. Yeah, Vikings probably winning their next 3. Vikings got Rams, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans. Vikings probably winning their next 4. We might not be catching them, right? But my point is to stay in that race, to stay in that competition. You need these games because these are games that allow you the opportunity to gain ground.
Yeah. Absolutely.
These are games that allow you the opportunity to build ground. These are games that allow you the opportunity to move up in the standings if one of those teams has a misstep. And guess what happens every year? We say this every year. You're going to win a game you wasn't supposed to win. You're going to lose a game you were supposed to dominate. The Bears have done that already. And that's why, to me, this is a must-win game, and you can't afford to sit there and not go out here and dominate these next 3 games. But if you go into that play 7-2, and you've got some of the other teams in the division, maybe the Vikings, or probably not the Vikings. We just looked at maybe the Lions or maybe the Packers, right? Pressing a little bit more, especially the Packers pressing a little bit more because, they need that playoff spot and you're ahead of them in that. That works completely in your favor as you head into this first game in Soldier Field, which, dare I say, and this is not me drinking the Kool-Aid because there's a lot less wins coming as I get into this next part. I think the Bears keep it going and beat the Packers in their first game here in Soldier Field.
I like that.
I think that home field advantage is real. The Bears will have at that point, what is that in a row? Would that be?
That'll be 7.
No, that would be 8, right? Because we got the Patriots at home. and then we have the Packers at home. Would that be 8 straight?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
home victories for the Chicago Bears in a row? I think Soldier Field is a real home field advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Going back over the schedule for the Vikings, I mean that first game, actually on Thursday Night Football versus the Rams. I'm not looking past that. The Rams are a very, very good team, obviously led by Sean McVay. You can't count them out at all because of the way he's a tactician on offense, and then obviously, having Stafford. So I don't foresee that just being a walkover game. I know Cooper Kupp is not ready to come back. I believe he's going to take another week to return from what I've heard off of his injury. But the Rams-Vikings game may be a game where the Vikings come in and lose as well outside of the softer part of their schedule. But, yeah, going into – that Bears schedule again, hey, we might rattle off a few more wins. And I do like the fact that we're going to beat that team up north. Notice I said we are going to beat that team up north. Yes, that's a good start to our division rival.
Yeah, listen, that puts you at 8-2. And I think here's where the losses start to come in, right? I think this is where the Bears lose that home field record. Still a good record, right? It puts you at 5-1 on the season. But I think this first Vikings game, they come into Soldier Field, Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Bears are riding high. Streak starts to get a little long. Right at that point, you're at 8 straight wins on the season. Streak starts to get a little long. Bear dub. Streak starts to get a little long. My heart tells me Bears keep winning at home.
It's not biased.
My heart says 9-2, and it's not biased. But it has to come to an end, and I think that week versus the Vikings will be the week where it does. I think the Vikings have the weaponry. The Vikings have, to me, real teeth.
Yeah.
And they are a dominant team, and I think that's kind of where riding high off of that Packers win. You know how much goes into that game. You know there's going to be so much energy expressed. That's probably where a little bit of a letdown comes in. I think the Bears do lose there versus the Vikings at home on the 24th, which is tough because 4 days later, you play the Lions on the 28th, which is that Thanksgiving? That is the Thanksgiving Day game.
When we play the Lions. Yeah, I think that is the Thanksgiving game.
You play the Lions on the 28th, and I don't have the Bears getting a win there either.
How dare you?
In Detroit. Now, listen, I've said this. I've said this many times, right? I believe that the Bears have Detroit's number. I think they can beat them in both games.
You doggone right.
In Detroit on Thanksgiving, this is kind of their thing. I would love to see the Bears get a win on this one. I'd lose my ever-loving mind.
Hey.
And you move to 9-2.
Hey.
But I think this is the one where there's a little bit of a letdown. And we lose a couple in a row here after going 8-2, we moved to 8-4 on the season.
I'm going to tell you one thing. After my flute experience yesterday, nothing gets me down. I'm positive all the way. It's Bear Dub all day, Bear Dub every day. Okay, there isn't going to be no drop-off, okay? Let's get one thing straight. We have the Lions number. We're going to go into Turkey Day. It's going to be a meaty day. It's going to be turkey. It's going to be whoa.
That was my turkey. That was my turkey impersonation. It's not bad. It's not a bad.
It wasn't bad. I just didn't like the mouth movement there. I don't know about that. But
do I need to cover the mouth?
yeah, that would have been better. Kind of like how the NBA players have their conversations so nobody sees it. So yeah, no, man. I think that we're going to go in. It's going to be a dub because we have the Detroit Lions number.
Yeah,
and the fact that we're going to be riding a high. I feel like even if we do lose the previous game to Minnesota, which honestly I don't foresee happening. I know that we're going to feel like we're on a high and we're probably going to look past the Minnesota Vikings, but I just think this defense will keep us in so many different games that in every game that, I really don't foresee that loss coming. But we'll see. We'll see. I think Detroit does have our number, but that day, no, I got us winning. Bear Dub. 9-3, baby.
You're at 9-3. I'm at 8-4 right now. I think this is where you pick it back up, though. Going into San Fran's so beat up. I think they're dead at this point. It's getting bad, bro. Hey, I said this the other day too. Brock Purdy looks human when that talent ain't out there, don't he?
Hey, he looks very, very mid, very basic.
You know why?
Very basic.
Because all quarterbacks look human when that talent ain't out there.
Exactly. That's the whole
I don't know if y'all noticed. You
team.
Need talent. You need talent.
Yeah.
I will go. You get a dub versus the 49ers. I think that gets you to win number 9.
I like that.
I believe you get a dub versus the Vikings. I believe that gets you to win number 10. And I think you get a dub versus the Lions. I'm upping my prediction, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I think that the Bears get 11 wins by December 22nd with 2 games remaining on the season that are very winnable.
All right. Now we're getting tingly because you got them at 11 already before the season ends. I had them at 11 at the end of the season, but I might have to change my prediction up. I mean, I am probably going full meat mode here with all these different predictions, but yeah, they probably could end the season either 12-5 or 13-4. We don't know, but I like those predictions going into that 49ers game. I agree with you with Brandon Ayuk out with the torn ACL, with Christian McCaffrey pretty much being on IR the entire season. Brock Purdy definitely has come back down to earth. That team has come back down to earth. You can't overlook them. They're still a very good all-around team. They still have talent. They still got Debo. They still got George Kittle. I believe Jordan Mason's still there. They're starting running back.
Yeah.
So they have talent all over the place. They still got a good offensive line, good defense led by Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. So I mean, you still can't overlook them. They're going to be probably one of the biggest challenges coming into the latter part of this season. But again, I do have that win there. So that puts me at 9-3 for them. Then, of course, as I said, I think the Vikings, I think that we have their number as well. I know that they're surprisingly have been a really, really good team leading this division up until the last game going against the Lions being perfect. So I feel like maybe they'll come back down to earth in the latter part of the season. So I have us beating them. That puts me at 10-3. And then the Lions Bears. I just think that head to head we have their number. And as much as Jared Goff is playing like an MVP against this Bears defense, especially going into the colder months, Jared Goff always has looked average against this
Jared
Bears
Goff
defense.
in Chicago. Yeah, give me a dub on that.
Yeah. So I mean, come on, 11-3 at that point. So 11-3 at that point. Yeah, I'm right there with you. So last 2 games left, Seahawks and the Packers. We might be talking about 12 or 13 wins, or I don't know if you have us winning, but that sounds like a playoff team to me, baby.
Well, I think here's the tough part, right? You've got opportunity. I don't know how much the Packers misstep in that time. A lot of this is based on kind of where another team slips up, and the Bears are right. The Bears are going to have a couple slip ups in there. I said you lose to the Vikings, you lose to the Lions. That's losing ground in the division a little bit. You hope that the Packers don't go on and they're just rattling off wins straight. I think that's really the team you're competing most with right now to get into this playoff race. Final 2 games of the season, give me a dub versus Seahawks. That puts you at 12 wins. Give me a loss versus the Packers final week. In Green Bay.
Well, we got to end the season out going up against them and losing.
I'll say this. A lot could change with my opinion by the time we get there. I mean, look, by the time we get there, right, I think that you're more inclined to be ready for them, but I don't think that you sweep the Packers this season. And because of that, I got to get you a loss somewhere. I don't know if you get that loss, and maybe you get that loss first. Maybe those are flip-flopped. I do think the Bears get a win. I would rather, I don't know what I'd rather. Would I rather lose to the Packers to finish the season or be in the middle of the season?
I would love to end the season at their place winning. I'll be honest with
you. You go into the offseason a lot higher if you beat the Packers at home, but you got to deal with Packers fans for, what we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks before that. Ugh.
Which makes it even sweeter because when we go into your territory, we're saying, okay, you got us, but now we just ended the season and we possibly could end your season depending on how it goes with a win, getting us into the playoffs, maybe catapulting you all out of the playoffs. I don't know. It depends on the record. Obviously, we know that might be a far-fetched thing, but that would be the dream is Packers are in a position where they don't make the playoffs and we are, and we just exit them out in the last game. So that would be my dream. You could talk all day long for those last 4 or 5 games. Yeah, you beat us, but then, hey, we own you and we just took you out of the playoffs to end the season. So that would be my dream scenario right there.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I think. Listen, right now I have them 12-5. I think you've got them 13-4 finishing the season.
Right. I got 13-4, baby. Bared up.
It's a meaty
They
prediction.
call me Mr. Meaty for a reason.
Caleb's first season in the NFL, 13-4. 12-5 is crazy.
Hey,
like 12-5 is nuts as well. But Caleb's first season in the NFL, 13-4. And again, this is not all off of the strength of the offense. This is not all off of the strength of, what Caleb Williams can do. I think it more so leans on this defense. When I look at this defense and I look at the teams that they're going up against, I had them 10-7 coming into the season, thinking this is probably a top 8 to 10 defense. Now I think it's one of the 2 top defenses in the NFL. One of the 2 top defenses in the NFL. I think it's them. I think it's the Steelers, right? And you can win a lot of games off of the back of that defense, and that defense to me is real. You have the Cardinals, beatable. You have the Patriots, very beatable. Yeah. I think you split with the Packers. I think you split with the Vikings. I think you split with the Lions. Seeing how good, and that's my biggest change in my prediction. Seeing how good those teams are and how good the Bears are, I think that the difference for me is I think they can compete with this defense a lot better than anybody else outside the division has. I don't think the 49ers right now, with how that team is set up, can compete with this Bears defense. I don't think that the Seahawks can. I don't think that any of the teams outside of this division can. I think the Lions have the offense to do it. I think we have their number a little bit, but I think the Lions have the offense to do it. I think the Vikings have the offense to do it. If there's a sweep anywhere in there, and this may make you feel a little bit better, watching Jordan Love the last couple of weeks. Jordan Love's been back, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
He missed 3 weeks. He leads the NFL in interceptions.
Oh, so he's
wants to give that football away.
All right, give it back.
If the Bears take care of the football better than the Packers do, the Bears will sweep the Packers.
I like
because Jordan Love is looking to give the football away.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the knee. I don't know what's happened with him. But since he's been back, he's like, yo, let me tell you this. You want this ball? I got it for you.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
He missed 2 games, JC. How's he leading the NFL in interception?
That is wild. Yeah, you come back and you're already leading. Yeah, that is wild stat.
He's got 5 interceptions over the last 3 weeks. He's 15-8 on the season. He's still got a almost 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah.
But the 7 games in, he first off, he's lost a couple of games there because of the interceptions as well. And he's got an interception in every game that he's played in. So I would expect that trend to continue. He's got multiple interceptions versus Minnesota and versus Houston, 2 of the toughest defenses that he played. And every single one of those interceptions, they bad.
They're really, really bad.
Yeah,
I'm giving you straight the ball.
And this is he's got we kind of were sitting there going, oh no, is this guy Rodgers? Is it right when you first see him get in it? Oh no, is this Aaron Rodgers? Is that what we're dealing with here?
We have Aaron
Rodgers. Feels a little more Favre.
Oh,
because bro,
Favre.
It was a little more Favre, bro. Because I'll say this, right? That throw that he makes to whoever the tight end was it Kirkland or whatever his name is? I'm sitting there going, there's not 5 quarterbacks in the NFL that can make that throw. Like that is an impressive throw. And then he throws a pick after that, and I'm like, every quarterback in the NFL makes that throw. Yeah. Now, what the heck was that? I saw Justin Fields throw that up 2 years ago in Cleveland.
Katie said he's a less armed Favre.
I just it's so oh my God, what a throw. Oh my God, what was that?
It's like he spirals. He's
which
up and down.
Which is exactly what I've always wanted for the Green Bay Packers.
Dang right.
You know what I said about Jordan Love? I said this many times. I hope that Jordan Love is just good enough to create chaos.
Oh, beautiful chaos.
First year in, He's already in a NFC playoff game. He's dominating. That means he's locked in there for 10 years minimum.
You doggone right.
He's going to win you some games, but he's going to put you in a position where you got to pick up the slack.
He turns into Dak Prescott.
Hey, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Hey, that's exactly what I want to be. Dak Prescott.
He turns into Dak Prescott.
I love the Dak Prescott. And because Packers fans will lose their minds.
It's like, God, you
can't get rid of him. He's the best thing we got. You got to get rid of him. Like I just want chaos in their fan base, and then we just stand over here with our quarterback looking good and just go,
we own you. There it is. Yes, sir. Feeling relaxed.
That's all I'm looking for, dog. But I don't want him to be bad, because if he's bad, you get rid of him.
To give a reasonable take, I mean, and yes, that would be
reasonable take.
A reasonable take, because
I'm have been reasonable this morning.
I have gone full meat mode. I understand, Mr. Meaty loves. Obviously, we're biased on the Bears. That's what I mean.
Meat mode.
Whoa. I mean, all right. And my takes have been meaty, but what I will say is that if we're being serious, we're looking at this from a reasonable perspective. The reason why I have a lot of Bears wins more so than not is because of the potential of Caleb Williams becoming a special talent later on in the season. We talked about all of these teams that they're beating now, and a lot of people are really unsure of if this is looking real, if this is a facade, if this is just because, he played 3 of the worst defenses back to back to back. But the fact that they're beating them handily is where I'm looking at. The fact that he has a defense that's backing him up that is elite level talent, that is Super Bowl level.
Yeah.
I think that when you see him continue to grow each and every week, literally each and every week, we're not just saying that because we're Bears fans. His numbers, and there's always something that he's doing that is improving from week to week. Going into the latter part of this season, I think if he continues to take a step forward, and evolve as a quarterback and become special to the point where you're saying he can compete with the other quarterbacks in this division, even the likes of Jared Goff just being on a heater right now, then that's the reason why I got us going 13-4. Saying got a lot of meat on the takes this morning. 13-4. You're absolutely right, Coach T. Come on, man. Get on the meat train. Get on the meat train, baby.
I think what's funny is, as Bears fans, we're telling ourselves there's no way we go 13-4.
Yeah, it's PTSD. You got to get away from that.
It's just PTSD. Listen, it's hard to go Here's the thing: predicting 13-4 in this division. I don't even know if it's a meaty take, right? Predicting 13-4. By the way, if you haven't done so, hit that like button. 190 in the building, 50 likes on the YouTube side, man. Hit that like button.
Come on now, get them up.
Get on the meat train. It's crazy, PJ. Jesus, this man's going nuts.
On the meat train, love that.
You're singing about it. Get on the meat train. Here's why it's hard to predict that, because I don't see a misstep for Detroit. I don't see a misstep for the Vikings. I think I see more of a misstep for the Packers. So are you saying that the Vikings and the Lions are going to win 15 games?
No, I'm saying we're going to win the division.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now it's a meat take. Ladies and gentlemen,
I stand by what I say. I stand by what I say.
Nova said, no, don't give it a jingle.
Shout out, Nova. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's nuts.
The meat train. People are all aboard.
I don't know if I'm there with you. I think 12 wins is doable.
Wait, you think 12 is doable, but one more is not?
Here's the thing. I think 12 is doable with them still coming probably in third in this division, because I see the Vikings, I see the Lions with 13 wins. I think those are your 13-win teams here. I think 12 is doable. I think 11 is more likely, which both are still good. Both are still good, right? But I think 12 is doable because that Seahawks game is one where Seahawks are a tough team, but again, you should literally be able to beat them because of just what your defense provides. But the Seahawks are a team that provides a fight. I think those last 2 games of the season are going to be the toughest. They're going to dictate playoffs for the Bears or not. But you're in that conversation. You're in that race. I think you can beat the Packers and put yourself in a good spot in that race as well. But I still don't have us as the division winners of this team because of how these schedules lay out. I just gave you the Vikings schedule. The Vikings already played the tough part of their schedule.
Yeah, that's true. They do have a weak schedule at the back end.
So the Vikings are getting the cakewalk that we had in the beginning. They're getting that now.
Yeah.
So I just think that, like, to me, I don't see where they fall off a cliff. And unless you do something crazy like sweep them, which sweeping a team in this division is nuts. Unless you do something crazy like sweep them, I don't see how the Bears get that. What's the right? I don't see how the Bears get to that 13 win number. And I think you actually had the Bears sweeping a couple teams. I think you had a sweeping the Packers and the Vikings. I
definitely had a sweeping. No, I had a sweeping the Lions. I definitely had a sweeping the Vikings.
Sweeping the Lions and the Vikings.
We split with the Packers. I prefer the Packers to have lost to us to end the season.
And see, that's the difference. If we go now, I'll say this: if we go 4-2 in the division, we're winning the division.
Oh boy,
because no one else is going to go 4-2. I think everybody in this division ends up 3-3.
Yeah,
I think you got 4 teams that are going to be 3-3 in this division, and that's the biggest difference. So yeah, I'm at 11 wins right now. I think I'm at 12 because I got them beating the Seahawks. But realistically speaking, Seahawks is a game they could lose. I'm probably feeling comfortable at that 11-12 number, which is an improvement. I had us at 10.
Yeah,
I think that with how this defense is, we can get 2 more wins.
All right.
13 seems a little far-fetched.
I'm just saying. I mean, I mean, basic math. You only added 1 more. I don't think that's far-fetched.
Yeah, but it's 1 more NFL game. It's not like you're adding 1 more cookie. You're not adding 1 more sausage into the pot, dog.
Hey, Pat, all I got to say is you need to get on the meat train, okay?
I'm not getting on the meat train.
On the meat train, the meat train.
No, give it a jingle.
Y'all done messed up now. I got my own little jingle. Add that to the OLEP.
No, please don't add that to the OLEP. All right, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to pay some bills real quick. We'll be back right on the other side of this thing to talk some more Chicago Bears football. That was solid. We could have honestly just done that as the main topic. I want to talk about, do the Bears need to add some defensive depth?
Yeah.
To the interior of the defensive line. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Yo, what's happening, Bears Nation? It's your boy Pat, the designer from the Windy City Breeze, where we keep it 100 about everything Chicago Bears. Now, if you're like me, you don't just watch the game, you live it, and that's why you need to check out BetDSI. BetDSI is where it's at if you want to put your money where your mouth is. They've been doing it for over 20 years, giving you the best odds, lightning fast payouts, and a platform that's as solid as the best O-line. Whether you're betting on the Bears to take it all the way or making clutch live bets during the game, BetDSI has you covered. And here is the kicker. Just because you're rolling with the Windy City Breeze, BetDSI is hooking you up. Sign up today with the promo code WCB, and they'll give you 120% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money, folks, to make sure that you're winning as you back our boys in the blue and orange. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Head over to betdsi.eu, use the code WCB, and start turning your Bears passion into serious cash. BetDSI, where real Bears fans get it done. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information.
It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold.
Welcome back. We had to take Jordan to HR because of the meat train and him offering people to get on it. We
come on aboard, baby.
We want you to know that he apologizes for his sentiments. Jordan, I'm trying to help you. Jordan, I'm trying to. We can see you, Jordan.
Sorry. I apologize, everybody.
I also want to apologize for the doors and windows being unlocked. Don't leave the back door open. You know what I mean? Or do whatever you're into. You know, it's your
type
world.
Of questionable stuff.
It's your world. There's been a lot of wild takes on this morning's episode, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Nova said, I pray Joel's not here because God knows he'll make a beat for it. Get on the meat train.
Hey, man.
That's a wild song. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
Because I think that this is interesting because you have to add context to it. Outside looking in, it feels like, and especially with just the numbers and stuff like that, if there's any weakness of the Chicago Bears defense, I think that you can say it is the run stopping numbers right now. Yeah. It feels like this Bears team has struggled to stop the run on a fairly consistent basis, and you've been hoping that would be something that would improve. When you look at the running backs that have gotten off on the Bears this season, Jonathan Taylor racked up 100 yards rushing. Tony Pollard had 16 carries for 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyron Williams had 19 rushes for 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Chuba Hubbard had 13 carries for 97 yards, 1 touchdown. And the guys that you still have coming up on this schedule, Brian Robinson Jr., you've got James Conner, you've got Josh Jacobs, you've got Aaron Jones, you've got David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker III. I mean, there's still some really good running backs on this roster. And the question that you have in my mind is, do the Bears need to go out and add a run stuffer to this defense?
I'm gonna be honest with you. With that's the one surprising stat that I've been kind of shocked at this entire season, with the fact that we've created so much pressure with Big Bill going up the middle, with Javon Dexter taking a step forward and becoming a special player this year, even DeMarcus Walker being more of a good run stopper, a stopgap. When you look at the numbers that the running backs have put up against us, as you just mentioned, it is a little shocking, and I don't know if it's just a matter of there's certain holes that are being opened up, and they're just not fulfilling those assignments to stop those certain holes from opening up. That's the only deficiency. So should we go out and get somebody? I'm gonna say no, because I feel like maybe that's just an attention to detail. I think those are things that like over this bye week. Though that should have been one of the discussions is, hey, where's our weakness at on this defense? Because there's not a whole lot of it. But the one is the run game. And I believe we're in the lower part of the league when it comes to that average, giving up over 100 at the very least in yardage per game. So I think if they give that more attention and just kind of clean up where their assignments, making sure they fill all their gaps, yeah. I think that we can stand pat, because usually Andrew Billings, that's what he was known for.
Yeah,
that's what we came into the season being confident with him in particular, is his ability to kind of just clog that middle up. on top of the fact that he's doing more than we expected. And so I think that we have the pieces here already. You know, you like what you saw from Chris Williams in the previous game. So I think we do have the pieces already in place. They just kind of need to fine tune some things. So no, I wouldn't go out and grab anybody for the interior.
Here's what's tough for me, and I think you got to add context. And I'm not in a different spot than you are right now, JC. I think you have to add context to every one of these big games, right? Chuba Hubbard had one massive carry. Started the game off, what was it, a 38-yard run?
Yeah.
Nah, you still gave up 60 yards after that, right? But 38-yard run. Gets to the house, touchdown. Chuba Hubbard was basically useless the rest of the day. Yes, he did rack up 60 yards. Yes, he did get some third downs in there. But when it came to getting in the red zone, there was nowhere to go. He didn't get in the red zone that much, and the Bears dominate that game. Tony Pollard, one big run in the first half.
Yep.
Had some nice chunk plays in the first half. In the second half of that game, Tony Pollard was non-existent. The Bears defense shut down the run in the second half of that game completely, right? Kyren Williams is the one back that carved you up all day.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Kyren Williams carved you up all day. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting, I was like, that boy was running through this line. And I guess the question is, right, are you gonna face more Kyren Williams this season? And when you go up against your divisional teams, right? David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are two guys I'm worried about. Aaron Jones with that offensive line, I got a little bit of concern, right? But you still have to. I think Coach T just said it best. They have an occasional glitch now versus some of these teams that will screw you over because these glitches are ending in touchdowns, right? The glitch for against Tony Pollard ends in a touchdown. You had the one that they didn't put on this list was why can't I think of the Colts running back now?
Oh my goodness. Jonathan Taylor.
You had Jonathan Taylor on there who kind of gashed you as the defense kept ending up back on the field because they're gassed and the offense can't get anything going in the slightest, right? Like, so I think there's some caveat to a lot of this, but versus better teams, those glitches can kill you. But I think it's like you said, it feels more of a. It feels like more of a what's the right word?
Like outlier than
yeah, it feels more of a fluke than not versus most teams. Now, if fluke is the wrong word, I guess outlier is a better word, right? Because a fluke means like they don't have the talent to do it. I think they have the talent to do it, but it just feels like this is a Bears defense that almost has to be slapped in the face. And then they snap two, and then all of a sudden you look at the rest of the game, you're like, well, you're not running the football anymore. But again, this is versus bad football teams, right? What we saw out of Chuba Hubbard is on a bad football team. You're not going to have that same leeway versus the Vikings, versus the Lions, versus the Packers. Those are teams that have offensive lines that can move you off your spot. Now, Bears have had a dominant defensive line as far as the pass rush. They're number one in EPA per play in dropbacks. They're 19th in EPA per play in rundowns, right? So you want to kind of close that gap there. But I think the numbers don't tell you the full story of what's going on. And so I'm not clamoring for the Bears to add an interior lineman. I think that maybe it does help. The Chris Williams of the world and guys like that, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice guy to have. I would like to see that position upgraded, but I think it's something you can wait on. There's not an interior lineman you're going to add to this team that's going to take you the extra mile. I don't want to see Ryan Poles slinging second-round picks out here for an interior offensive lineman. Defensive lineman, I should, if there's an offensive lineman out there, maybe. An interior defensive lineman. Just so that you can improve your game on the rundowns. I think that this Bears team is not that far off on being a good run-stopping team. And I would love to see it especially in the red zone and especially in those moments. I haven't looked at the numbers on that. But in those moments where you need them to stop the run most, I feel like the Bears usually do.
Yeah. Before I get my take, by the way, can you actually see me? Because I feel like we're frozen in time.
I'm not going to lie. Your screen is frozen right now. I thought you were standing incredibly still.
All right.
Dare I say, I thought you went to sleep.
No,
I thought you went to sleep, dog.
That flute concert got to me. No, no, not at all. Well, hey, I'm just gonna go off sound then, because I clearly we're both frozen on my screen. But what I wanted to say is the fact that I think it's twofold when it comes to how the going forward, how this the run is going to affect us. I think it's hand in hand with the offensive lines that we're also going to be facing. Because when you're talking about some of these offensive lines that we're going up against, they're some of the best in the league. Even though San Francisco is deficient right now with Christian McCaffrey, and a lot of guys are hurt, a lot of their special players. I mean, that offensive line is still special. And that's the reason why Jordan Mason, can kind of just plug and play and get in there and do what he's been doing. And so that could be an issue. And then, of course, when we're going up against Detroit twice, even though I mentioned we have their number, and I think that we can win against them, I feel like Detroit's offensive line is the best in the league. And so when you have two guys, one who already has, an affinity for us because he's ready to kill us at any moment, in David Montgomery being a former Bear, and then Jahmyr Gibbs with the talent that he has, kind of let that two-way tandem is special, I think. And so we might have some problems with that. So I think, the part where we have to really look for improvement is that run game immediately, because we're going to be tested week in and week out. You got Aaron Jones on the and Ty Chandler on the Vikings. You got what is it, Kenneth Walker on the Seahawks. Like you mentioned James Conner. Like, these are all really good mid to top tier running backs that we haven't faced yet. And so it's going to be a daunting task at times. Like I said, for the defense to stop it. But again, like I said before, that doesn't make me think that we need to go out and get somebody and give up, some sort of high draft capital, like you mentioned, a second round pick. No, unless somebody is actually there, then okay, I'm fine with it, like a special name, but I don't foresee that happening. I think that time is going and went. I know a lot of names that we're talking about is the edge rush help, not the interior. So I would just stand pat, like I said, and just try to, work on the fine tuning.
Yeah, no, I agree. Go ahead and hit that refresh button, JC.
Okay.
Just go ahead and refresh it real quick. You couldn't even see all the comments of Muggs going in. Oh, wait for the playback. We'll get JC back in here in a second, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. No, I agree. Listen, I think the interior of this offensive line is I'm sorry, if this defensive line, the interior of this offensive line is scary. I think the interior of this defensive line, you're not going to be great at everything. Some things you will have to be just good at. And I think that in those moments when the Bears need to most, they can be good. I think that in those moments when the Bears need to run stuff most, they can be good. Does that mean that they're great? Does that mean that they're going to be one of the best run stopping teams in the NFL? Does that mean they're going to be one of the best teams against the run? No, it doesn't. And that is okay, because you are the best team right now in the NFL against the pass. Teams are not passing the football on you. Teams don't even look Jalen Johnson's way. Over the last 3 weeks, I believe he's been targeted 6 times. He's allowed 3 receptions for -4 yards. So you're in a position right now where you have control. You're in a position right now where you can eliminate an entire part of their game. And yeah, you want to run the football. You want to try and chunk your way down the field with the run game. 100%, sure, go ahead. Because when you get to the red zone, you won't be able to do it, because the Bears are also one of the best teams in the NFL in the red zone. And so, to me, this is an opportunity for you to lean on what you already have. That is an elite situation. That is a dominant defense, and not panic and move off of the full game plan. And that's what I expect Ryan Poles to do. I think that the Bears end up standing pat on what they already have. I think that this ends up where the Bears don't panic. Don't go out and add. And there's some solid names interior that you could add. I guess if it costs you nothing to add them, that's a different situation, right? If you're talking about 4th round draft capital, stuff like that. But right now, I don't think that I feel the Bears are going to be challenged enough in the past this season for them to have to sell out or go get some big name on the interior of that defensive line. I don't know if JC can get back in here or not, or if the internet died on him, which would be absolutely hilarious. I told him to refresh and he's not able to make it back in. I was trying to wait on him to finish out the show here. But no, I think the biggest thing for this Bears team right now is just to stay focused on what they have. I think that as this season is coming now past the bye week, you're getting into the teeth of this schedule. You're going to learn a lot about this team. You're going to learn a lot about where this team is as far as defensively. You're going to learn a lot about where Caleb Williams is as far as a quarterback. The matchups are not getting easier. You're in the toughest position that you've been in all season now, right? You've got your first 5-2 matchup, which may get a little bit easier with Jaden Daniels. They got him listed as week to week. I still say he plays this game, but they have him listed as week to week. JC, they literally just got the text. Laptop just said, screw you, had to restart. I'm going to try to jump back in. JC, they censoring JC for the meat take. See, they said he's got too much meat in the conversation on this mug, man. But no, I think that you're going to learn a lot about where this Bears team is at over the next couple of weeks, and I think a lot of people are going to feel a lot more confident in who you have offensively, on what this quarterback can become, on where this offense can go, because I think that the Bears are going to do a good amount of winning to finish out the season. I mean, I had them, they're 5-2 right now. What did I say they were going to get? 1, 2, 3. I think we lose. Dang, I got us. Oh no, 4. I got us winning that one. 5, 6, 7. I've got the Bears with 7 more wins to finish the season out. As Mr. Media is back. Welcome back.
All right.
You all right? Did the camera change? Did it finally allow your laptop camera to work?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. Apparently,
I think it's finally letting your laptop camera work.
Goodness gracious, everything's just going all over the place. It's haywire. But I'm back, guys. Goodness.
Your mic is on the wrong input.
Oh, well,
JC refreshed into 1972. Carl said he bought his laptop at the pawn shop. Hey, don't be sleeping on the pawn shop, bro.
Hey, come on now.
The pawn shop is phenomenal. We're not going to sleep on the pawn shop. I love the pawn shop. By the way, JC, over 300 in the chat. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. Give it a second. Over 300 in the chat. 300.
Still can do that.
Oh, man. I mean, you working all hard for this month, man. We finna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the struggling Mr. Media over here himself, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love. See Red Nation, stand up. Basketball is back, baby. NBA on the rise. Foul. Peace. You little. Your struggles threw me off. I didn't have the I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's a wild show this morning.
The best show in Chicago sports.
So the meat train, that's what you went with today? That's what
You're all right. People all aboard, baby.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Hey man. All aboard.
We have to get the clicker out. Come here.
Hey, come here.
Let me show you this. What you doing right there? Why are your pants off?